As a therapist, I think for many years, and for lots of my colleagues, we often feel that we know that we can't split a human being into its physical and emotional self, but have never had the opportunity to deliver in a particular client-focused way, combining both the physical and the emotional and psychological self.
Yeah.
So it's really warming as a therapist to know whether it's CBT or EMDR for post-traumatic stress, whatever it is that we're doing psychologically and emotionally, it's really, I feel really safe that if there's a physical element of that, that you look after that. So I guess it's the same for you, knowing that if you're looking after the physical self.
It is. I mean, I enjoy that element. I think we both do, don't we? Enjoying being able to ensure that if they've had an acute injury or they've been through trauma, through an accident, then our rehabilitation is dovetailed into the work that they can do if they need some psychological help at the same time.
Certainly if they've lost confidence in their ability to move or exercise, we can address bits into help the rehabilitation.
And even when there's permanent damage, that they have to then learn to be with and to harness that well-being of their new self, of their changed self physically. So sometimes that's really helpful on spot to be able to do both of those things.
I think it helps the patient's experience as well if you are mindful of all of those elements that are important and have an impact on that person's recovery.
Absolutely.
And it's great here. We've got good equipment so that we can make it a very personalised approach to their rehabilitation, and then give them the facility to follow an exercise programme at home, which we've got some really nice online work that we can tailor to each person. So I think it fits really well in managing anybody that comes through the door, in improving their well-being in general.
And that's just kind of conjured up for me that knowledge that actually all our human beings that we interact with are actually the experts on themselves.
Yes.
So they'll tell me where it hurts.
Yeah.
They'll tell me what they feel like. And then that's when we can add our clinical experience to that in order to help them.
Yeah, I think you're right. They know their body best.
Absolutely.
And it's our role as physiotherapists, we've been working a long time in physiotherapy, that I think I've gained listening much more to, and often they'll tell me how I can help resolve their problem.
And actually what's really fascinating to me is how many elements of what we do as physiotherapists, balance, control, stability, coordination, are actually key mindful words anyway, aren't they?
Of course. And at the end, whatever comes out of the combined treatments has to be beneficial for the people that we work with.
Yeah.
So they have to guide us about how beneficial it's feeling. It's a joint effort when working with another human being.
Yeah, it's nice working all together, isn't it?
Movement can be an emotional experience as well.
Absolutely.
Emotion can be expressed
Absolutely.
through movement. Yeah. Or anxiety about moving, or exercising, or taking those first steps we can address together to reduce that.
And those clients that have phobias, that they don't want to go for treatment because they don't feel that they're going to be accepted, that they're going to be judged. So sometimes just one or two quick sessions from a talking therapy can help them and motivate them to go and get the treatment that they need from post-accident or post-injury.
And that's very much part of the rehabilitation I think we offer as well, isn't it? That they may have access to that, or they do have access to that, but we also include that in our physical rehabilitation, be very aware of that for them.
We have the time and the facilities to be able to provide that wraparound service, really.
And the immediacy of that is what's important, given that, you know, the health service, excellent as it is, has waiting lists, and as time passes, people's psychological self can become much more damaged by the wait rather than the actual, you know, so.
Well, we know all the research says in physiotherapy as well that the sooner you can start addressing an injury or a particular health problem, even if it's a reoccurrence, which sometimes it is, the sooner you start that process of treating them, they get there quicker and more efficiently, and stop all the bad habits and more problems coming on, really.
And, you know, people that have been working at home in positions that are not conducive
Huge
to
at the
their
moment.
physical well-being, but equally, you know, their psychological well-being, about not seeing people, working with all kinds of difficulties in terms of loss and bereavement and not being able to be with people. So the sooner they can get some help, the better that's going to be for the long term.
We see great deep tension from emotions in shoulders and posture.
And also the terrible postures they have to be at home at the moment if they're working from home. When they don't have the right setup, then often I find ergonomically you can make very subtle changes that can make a huge difference to their aches and pains and back pain and all those sorts of things.
Losing positioning and breathing and
Yeah,
posture.
Absolutely, absolutely.